Hey guys, it's ZACHARYEDWARD. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to do a full coverage glam. I don't have it yet on my channel, so I'm going to show you guys how I do the ultimate fullest coverage, last all day type foundation. I'm just going to go through all my different products and take you from no glam to this, then keep on watching this tutorial. Alright, so first whenever I start my really full, heavy, last all day, amazing, like Instagram type glam foundation routine, I always like to start with priming. Especially if I'm going out, I want to make my skin as smooth as possible, and primers are definitely going to help with that. So I always like to start using my Too Faced Hangover Primer. This is my favorite if I'm going out and I need my foundation to last throughout the entire day. So I just like to rub that into my skin. I rub it all over. The coconut electrolytes in it are amazing. They're great to really sit there and prime the skin. Sometimes I'll like take it down my neck. I love using this primer. It just really makes the foundation stick. I like to go in and use a smoothing primer. This is the Makeup Forever Step 1 smoothing primer, and I'll use this all over the areas where I'm more porous, just to really make that smooth, like highlighted, high def effect happen. So I'm just going in there, I'm smoothing out all those areas that get super porous, especially in photos. A lot of it's just around my nose and on my lower cheeks here, and then a little bit on my forehead. So I'll just go here and pat all of that in. And then that's it for priming. Okay, so we already know that I really, really hate the color of my facial hair. I hate when you can see green through any of my foundation. So before I do any of that, after I'm done with my primer and before I do my foundation, I'm gonna go in and use a orange colored eyeshadow, and I'm just gonna cover all of this up. Alright, so now I'm gonna go with my favorite full coverage foundation. This is even my foundation like of all time right now. I'm using the Milani Conceal and Perfect. This is like my go-to foundation right now. It looks super smooth and clean on the skin, but it also gives you an amazing coverage that doesn't look like you have the most makeup on. So you're doing the most without actually doing the most. So I'm just going in, I'm using that on a Morphe E50 brush. I'm obsessed with this brush for foundation. I've really been into using brushes lately for just about everything. Before it was like all about the beauty blender, but now I'm kind of just like getting back into brushes. Like, you know, when you go back to your roots, I'm just going in with this Morphe E50, and I really like that it's a synthetic brush, so I'm using this to tap all of that in, but I'm also using it to blend the rest of it out. You really want to use a foundation that has a really good full coverage. This is perfect for something that is a really nice full coverage but doesn't look too cakey. So I'm just going to go in with this foundation and really make sure that I'm going in there and patting everything in and buffing it out, so this way I get a complete full coverage everywhere. We want to make sure that all that pigmentation is gone and everything is one clean slate for our highlighting and contouring that we're going to be doing next. Alright, so after I've gone in and I've done that full layer of foundation, I really like to make sure, this is like a really important step for my full coverage routine, that I take off all the excess foundation. So I'll go in there and I'll just start tapping off all the excess foundation with the Beauty Blender. So this way we're not layering too much, but we're also pushing the product even further into the skin. So I'm just going in with this Beauty Blender and I'm tapping it all the way around and just picking up any excess foundation that there may be. And then we're going to go in there with our concealer and lighter color for our highlights. Okay, so for my highlight, I like to use one of two things. And both of these have been my holy grails for like a long time. I really just I kind of don't try out a lot of concealers, so I don't feel like I have dark circles under my eyes, so I don't feel like I need a concealer. I just need something to brighten. So I'll either go in with the MAC Full Coverage Foundation. You can get these at a MAC Pro store, and I'll use these in, I use NC20 whenever I'm super, like the lightest that I can be, my normal skin color, I'll use an NC20. Or I'll go in and I'll use the Anastasia contour and highlight kit, and I'll use this, but I'll use it in light. Right now I only have the dark for contouring, and I don't have the light with me, so I'm going to use this to highlight. And then I'm going to use this contour. So I'm just going to go in there into that foundation. I'm going to start concealing. Now you guys, this is full coverage. So we're taking a bunch of this. And I'm just going in and I'm slowly just bringing it down from under my eye, making the shape that I want. And then I'll take it from the right here on my eye and I'll go straight down my nose. And this is how I highlight my nose and start getting that snatched effect started. And then I'm using a Morphe E57 brush to really put down that highlight. And then for my face shape, I really like to take it above my lip because I feel like this makes a kind of triangle highlight on my face, which really brings out my other features and really gives me a more hollowed out, striking cheekbone for my contour. So I'll do it in a little triangle shape right there. So it's no surprise I haven't found anything that I like to blend out my under eye highlight with better than a beauty blender still. But so I'm just going to go in there with my beauty blender and I'm going to tap all this out and blend it out. So I use the Farsali Rose Gold Elixir and I go into that Anastasia medium to dark contour kit, and I'll go in there with a Morphe M458 and I'm just going to start digging in there so I can make the lines for my contouring. So I'll go in there and I'll start using the brush and I'll just make a straight line on my actual contour bone. I don't like doing it under the contour bone because I feel like that just makes it really, really dramatic versus actually just going on top of your actual bone and then blending it out upwards. So that way, whenever you see it, it just makes this look a lot more swollen because this is already up there versus doing it right here and then all of this being sunken in. That's where you kind of look sick, I feel like. But if you do it on top of it and then blend it upwards, it'll bring all of this under, and then this will make you look more bronzy. It's just the way that I do it. You'll see whenever I do it. That's just the way it looks whenever I blend it out. So then I'm going in there and I'm just doing my forehead. You have to get all the way up to that hairline. Get all the way in the hairline, you guys. There's nothing worse than missing the edge of your hairline. Most of the time I have my bangs on, or I'll wear my bangs like usually now, but there's still times whenever I don't and you just need to have your hairline snatched. I'm just going in there with this Boomy Master brush and it's a large paddle brush and I'm just going in there and I'm stippling and blending out all of that contour. I know it looks kind of orangey right now, but once you blend it out, it looks so good. It's just a really nice base to kind of like bronze you up, and then also mixed with the powder contour that we're gonna do, it just pulls everything together. You want to make sure that you're blending all of that backwards. You have to blend all of those contours back so that way they meet the back of your forehead or like by your ear. You just want to make sure that all this meets the back of your hairline. So in photos, you don't get, it doesn't look like a... Okay, so now for some nose snatching. I always, doesn't matter where I'm going, if I'm doing an all natural look or if I'm just like doing a no makeup look, or if I'm even just wearing a foundation and a little bit of powder, I'm still always going to bronze up or contour my nose in some kind of way. It's just what I like to do. So I'm going to show you how I do it with some contour. I'm going in there with this Smith 220 brush with that same contour color, and I'm just re-snatching my nose up, making it really straight for you. And I bring it all the way down, and then I'll go right here, same on this side, and then I kind of go in and round it in the middle. So for this one, I really like to go in with a blending brush that I cannot live without. I use this one for my crease and I use this for my nose contour to blend it out. This is the Anastasia A25 brush. This brush is everything. So I'm just taking the edge of that brush and I am blending this entire nose contour out. Alright, so I know this is the part that everyone is always like crazy about and what you want to see and how it's going to start blending together. So after I've done all this cream contouring, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to set it with a powder. I like to use the RCMA powder or the Ben Nye Neutral Set Powder because I feel like you want a thinner translucent powder that's really going to beat all this down, but then also be able to wipe it off and it still have like a nice, a light feeling on the face where it doesn't feel like it's full coverage, but it's definitely full coverage. So I'm going to take the RCMA powder and I'm just going to press all of that in and bake my face with a, I'm going to be using a Makeup Forever powder puff. Okay, so next, so the skin isn't so dull, so you can obviously see all this powder has really taken away most of what you just did, but this is going to reinforce the shape for whenever you take photos. This is really going to make it to where you see that contour and highlight in your photos. So right now I'm just going to go in, I'm going to kind of bronze, and I'm going to use MAC Mineralized Skin Finish. This is in the color medium dark, just to kind of warm up my face a little bit, but not too much. This is going to be used more as my bronzer, and I'm going to go in there and contour with something else. Because I kind of like to use my bronzer as kind of like, It's kind of like when you do your like crease in your eyeshadow and you want to use like a transition color. I'll use my bronzer as that. So this way, once I do my contour, it's not as harsh, but you still get the same full coverage Instagram effect. Like, you want regular girls to be shook, but then you want beauty girls to be like shook too. You know, you want them to like look at it and be like, that looks real good. What are you wearing? And then you'd be like, Krylon and cement, right? Okay, so next, lately, this is a bronzer, but I've been using this for my contour, and I really, really like it. But I like more of as a bronzer whenever I'm more tan. So right now that I'm at like my palest, I've been using this as a contour. This is the Marc Jacobs. Is it Tantalizer? I think I've been saying Tantalizer. It is the Tan-Tastic. It's not the name of it. It's not Tantalizer. It's Tan-Tastic. I don't know where Tantalizer came from, but it's Tan-Tastic. So I've been using it, and I'll use it to contour my face up a little bit. And then it kind of gives it like that same effect where it's not super bronzy, but it's still really pretty. Snatched. All right, so next we're just gonna go in there and highlight all the other points that we didn't before, and we're just going to set the powder there where we need it to be highlighted. Normally I use the Anastasia powder contour kit, but I've been trying other things. I've been trying to stray away, break my makeup habits, cute stuff like that. So now I'm using the Urban Decay Shapeshifter palette. I'm using the powders that are in it, and I really like the yellow powder. So I'm gonna go in there and I'm going to set it right there, and then we'll go in with blushes and all those different things. All right, so I'm gonna go in there with the Morphe Prep and Set setting spray. If you want to get a discount on this, use the code, not mine because I don't have a code with Morphe. Someone else out there does though. Use theirs. All right, so then after I've set my face, I'm going to go in with a highlighter. I like using the Anastasia highlighting brush, and I always go back and forth within so many highlighters. Like, it depends. Sometimes I want like a super natural glow. Sometimes I want a really extreme, you can see me from space glow. It kind of just depends on where I'm at in my life at that moment in time. Right now, I'm gonna use the Anastasia Glow Kit. This is in the color That Glow. And I like using Bubbly and Dripping Gold because I really feel like these give you a really pretty shine without it being too dramatic, but it's still pretty. So then last for complexion, I'm going to go in and I'm going to use the, a surprise, my favorite blush right now, the Anastasia blush trios in Pink Passion. I'm obsessed with this color and then a little bit of like this color like up here. It's so good. It's like the perfect pinky, peachy, not too dolly, but not to where you can't see a type of blush. I just love it so much. All right, so next I'm going to do my eyebrows and eyes off camera, and then I'll be back. All right, guys, so I just throw on the rest of my face. This is the finished look. I should have a mini tutorial on it on Instagram for you guys. I love this eye. I used the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette. Of course, I'm obsessed. It's so good. This is such a simple, cool tone, pretty look. I'm obsessed. You guys know I love nude tones, so this is gorgeous. And then I'm wearing Kylie Dolce K and Literally on the lips. And then I'm wearing these Allura Light by House of Lashes lashes. They're so pretty. I feel like they fit my eyes so well. I've always been looking for a lash that's like smaller but also looks full because my eyes are very hooded, so it doesn't look too crazy. But yeah, I love this look, and I hope you guys do too. I hope you guys really like this full coverage glam. I hope you guys are really into it. If you guys want to see more tutorials like this, then let me know in the comments below. Let me know what kind of looks you guys want to see in the future. If you guys liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see what I'm doing next week, then hit the little bell right there in the corner and give me a subscribe. And I'll see you guys next week. Bye!